Now, let us discuss about the different modes of payment in international marketing. In India, there are primarily four modes of payment of international trade. These are cash in advance, letter of credit, documentary collection, and open account. Let us discuss each one at a time. First, let us talk about cash in advance. In case of cash in advance, the payment is being made before the goods are being exported. This option is undoubtedly one of the best option for an exporter. But when it comes to the buyer or the importer, cash in advance is the least uh, expected way of payment for a buyer. The reason being that what if the goods are not being delivered after the payment is being made? Such kind of things affects the buyer a lot. So therefore, the buyer generally press the exporter not to go for this particular option. In case of cash in advance, the exporter can avail credit risk since payment is received prior to the transfer of ownership of goods. Wire transfer and credit cards are the most commonly used cash in advance options available to an exporter. When we talk about wire transfer means the electronic transfer of money from one bank to another. It is also known as bank transfer and credit transfer. The second option is letter of credit. Letter of credit is a guarantee which is given by the importing bank to the exporting bank that in case the importer fails to pay the money, then the importer's bank will make the payment to the exporter's bank for the goods that were purchased. Now, there are different kinds of letter of credits, and depending upon each one, the amount in the letter of credit keeps on changing. First type of letter of credit is clean letter of credit. Clean letter of credit is a guarantee for the acceptance and payment of bills without any condition. That is, the full payment will be given in case of clean letter of credit by the bank. Next is documentary letter of credit. This requires that the exporter's bill of exchange be accompanied by certain document evidencing title of the goods. So generally in case of documentary letter of credit, some documents are required for the payment to be made. Next type of letter of credit is revocable letter of credit. Here the issuing bank, that is the importer's bank, can withdraw the letter of credit without any prior consent given to the exporter. The next type of letter of credit is irrevocable letter of credit. Here, the letter of credit can be withdrawn, but it cannot be withdrawn without giving the consent to the exporter or the beneficiary of the letter of credit. The next type of letter of credit is revolving letter of credit. In such type of letter of credit, the amount of credit is automatically reversed to the original amount after such a amount has once been paid as per defined conditions of the business transaction. There is no need for further application of another letter of credit to be issued provided conditions specified in the first letter of credit are fulfilled. The final type of letter of credit is fixed letter of credit. Here, the amount of financial obligation is being fixed by the issuing bank either in one bill or in several bills put together. Generally, letter of credit is a very important document in foreign trade. The burden of financing the transaction is transferred to the bank. The exporter need not bother about the creditworthiness of the importer if he has received proper letter of credit from the bank. The next type of mode of payment is documentary collection. Documentary collection is a way of payment through the process of issuing draft. In this particular case, the importer sends certain documents which have to be filled up by the exporter. The importer's bank sends these documents to the exporter through the exporter's bank. Documentary collection involves the use of a draft that requires the importer to pay the face amount either on site, that is, documents against payment, or on a specified date in the future, that is, documents against acceptance. The draft lists the instructions that specify the documents required for the transfer of title to the goods. Using drafts is generally less expensive than issuing of letter of credits. The last mode of payment in international marketing is open account. In case of open account, goods are first shipped and delivered to the importer, and then the payment is made to the exporter. Generally, the payment is being made 30 to 90 days after the goods are being delivered or the goods are being received by the importer. Usually, this particular option is one of the most advantageous option to an importer, but when it comes to the exporter, it is one of the most riskiest option for an exporter, as the exporter has the risk as to what if the importer does not make the payment. So the exporter may face the loss of the cost of the goods as well as the cost of exporting of the goods. Generally, foreign buyers often press exporters for open account terms, but exporters are generally reluctant to accept this offer. But taking into consideration the competition that is available right now in international marketing, the exporters who are reluctant to extend credit may face possible loss of their sale to their competitors. So therefore, the use of one or more appropriate trade finance techniques such as export credit insurance, the exporter can offer open competitive account terms in the global market while substantially mitigating the risk of non-payment by the foreign buyer. So these were the different modes of payment in international marketing, the most primary and most widely used modes of payment in international marketing. So as you can see, when it comes to an exporter, for an exporter, cash in advance is the most accepted way of payment, whereas open account is the least accepted mode of payment, most riskiest way of payment. So for an exporter, if we go this side, then it will be the most appropriate ways of payment for an exporter. But when it comes to an importer, open account is one of the most advantageous modes of payment, whereas if you go this side, then cash in advance is the least appropriate or advantageous mode of payment for an importer, right? So this will be for an importer, open account will be the most appropriate, whereas coming this side, cash in advance will be the most appropriate method of payment for an exporter. In the next video, we are going to know about the export procedure that is being used in international marketing. Thank you.